The 2026 FIFA World Cup was supposed to become the biggest tournament in football history. So far, it's delivering on that promise in ways that almost nobody predicted. But now, with the group stage officially complete, the competition is entering completely uncharted territory that has never existed before in the history of the FIFA World Cup. For the very first time ever, fans are about to witness a brand new knockout stage, the round of 32. This is a phase that didn't exist 4 years ago, didn't exist at any previous World Cup, and could completely reshape the path to lifting football's most prestigious trophy. So, what exactly is the round of 32? Why is it so important? And which nations have already secured their place? Let's break it all down. To understand why this round exists, we need to look at how the World Cup format has evolved. Since 1998, the tournament followed a simple and familiar structure. 32 teams were divided into 8 groups, and the top 2 teams from each group advanced directly to the round of 16. It was straightforward, balanced, and remained unchanged for nearly 3 decades. However, everything changed in 2026. FIFA expanded the tournament from 32 to 48 teams, creating 12 groups of 4 nations instead of 8. That one decision fundamentally transformed the competition. With 48 teams participating, the traditional knockout bracket simply could not remain the same. FIFA's solution was the introduction of the round of 32, a completely new stage positioned between the group phase and the traditional round of 16. Under this format, all 12 group winners advance, along with all 12 group runners-up and the 8 best third-place teams across the entire tournament. That creates a 32-team knockout bracket for the first time in World Cup history. The battle for those third-place spots has added a completely new level of drama. Teams finishing third are ranked against one another based on points, goal difference, goals scored, and additional tiebreakers if necessary. Only the top 8 third-place finishers survive, while the remaining 4 are eliminated, despite potentially having respectable tournament records. This single change has transformed the strategy of the entire competition. At previous World Cups, finishing third meant immediate elimination. In 2026, however, a third-place finish can still keep a nation's dream alive. Every goal, every point, and every tiebreaker now carries enormous significance. And that's where things become even more fascinating. The round of 32 bracket itself follows a unique structure that fans have never seen before. According to FIFA's official format, several group winners will face runners-up, while others will take on qualifying third-place teams, creating matchups that could dramatically alter the road to the final. As the knockout stage begins, one thing is already clear. The 2026 FIFA World Cup isn't just the biggest World Cup ever. It may also become the most unpredictable tournament football has ever witnessed. The remaining 8 group winners will face one of the tournament's qualifying third-place teams. Meanwhile, the runners-up who aren't already paired against a group winner will square off against other runners-up. It's a deliberately layered system designed to create the fairest possible knockout bracket while accounting for one major variable. Nobody knows which third-place teams will advance until every single group stage match has been completed. That uncertainty is precisely what makes this expanded World Cup format so fascinating. Several confirmed matchups already provide a glimpse into how this unprecedented system is unfolding. Germany, for example, will face a qualifying third-place team emerging from groups A, B, C, D, or F. It's an intentionally flexible matchup that won't be finalized until the final group stage whistle blows. The United States, after securing first place in their group, will take on the runner-up from groups B, E, F, I, or J. Brazil, meanwhile, has already been paired with the runner-up from Group F. These cross-group pairings represent one of the most unique features of the expanded 2026 World Cup. Teams can complete their group stage journey without knowing their next opponent, creating suspense that extends across multiple stadiums, countries, and time zones. Suddenly, even seemingly meaningless final group matches carry enormous consequences. The historic round of 32 officially begins on Sunday, June 28th, with a standalone opening fixture before expanding into a packed schedule featuring 3 matches per day through July 3rd. Co-host Canada will have the honor of participating in the inaugural match of this brand new stage, taking on South Africa in what will become a historic moment in World Cup history. From there, the tournament spreads across North America, with knockout matches taking place in major venues throughout the United States and Mexico. Fans will witness action in cities including Los Angeles, Houston, Foxborough, Arlington, New Jersey, Atlanta, Seattle, San Francisco, Guadalajara, and Mexico City. The list of teams already confirmed for this historic round includes some of the biggest names in world football. Defending champions Argentina comfortably secured qualification, while all three co-host nations, the United States, Canada, and Mexico, have advanced to the knockout stage. The United States, in particular, became just the second host nation to officially secure a knockout berth after an impressive victory over Australia during the group stage. Brazil, Germany, and several additional group winners and runners-up have also secured their places, while the battle for the remaining third-place qualification spots continues to unfold. But the bracket itself is only part of the story. This tournament has already produced extraordinary individual moments, and the round of 32 arrives with several major narratives still very much alive. Lionel Messi continues to rewrite football history in what is widely expected to be his final World Cup appearance. With each performance, he adds another chapter to a career that many analysts already consider the greatest in the history of the sport. At the opposite end of the generational spectrum stands Spain's teenage sensation, Lamine Yamal. His first-ever World Cup goal instantly became one of the defining moments of the groups when the FIFA World Cup expanded from 24 teams to 32 ahead of the 1998 tournament in France. It took years before fans, analysts, and even players stopped comparing every match to the smaller, more familiar version of the competition that came before it. That expansion completely eliminated the old second group stage format and introduced the round of 16 knockout system that would define the World Cup for the next 28 years. For an entire generation of football fans, the World Cup simply existed as a 32-team tournament that flowed naturally from the group stage into the round of 16. It became the standard. It became tradition. Now, in 2026, football is experiencing the single largest expansion in World Cup history. The jump from 32 teams to 48 teams has fundamentally transformed the structure of the tournament, and the introduction of the round of 32 is the direct consequence of that decision. FIFA's stated goal throughout the lead-up to this tournament has been clear: expand the global reach of football, create opportunities for developing football nations, and reflect the tremendous worldwide growth of the sport since the previous major format change. Whether the round of 32 ultimately becomes as accepted and iconic as the round of 16 remains an open question. But history suggests that skepticism surrounding expansion is nothing new. When the World Cup increased from 16 teams to 24 in 1982, critics argued that the additional nations would dilute the quality of competition and create too many one-sided matches. Instead, that expansion helped produce some of the greatest underdog stories in tournament history. Similar concerns surfaced again before the 1998 expansion to 32 teams, yet that format eventually became the gold standard for nearly 3 decades. There's every reason to believe the same pattern could repeat itself in 2026. The larger debate isn't necessarily about the number of teams participating. Instead, it's about what an additional knockout round actually means for the prestige of reaching the latter stages of the tournament. Some analysts argue that allowing 32 teams into the knockout phase, including several third-place finishes, reduces the significance of simply advancing beyond the group stage. Others strongly disagree. Their argument is that this format creates exactly what football fans love most: more elimination matches, more pressure, more drama, and more opportunities for nations that traditionally sit outside football's established elite to experience the unique intensity of knockout football. And when you step back from the bracket itself, the human side of this expansion becomes impossible to ignore. Imagine being part of a team that finished third in its group. Your fate is no longer determined solely by your own performances. Instead, you're spending days watching matches played thousands of miles away, calculating goal differences, tracking tiebreakers, and hoping results in entirely different groups fall in your favor.